What we're doing today is chalk paint. I'm going to show you the chalk paint we're using real quick. So again, it is called, I have forgotten what it's called. It was glass something. I wrote it down and in a blog post somewhere. Glass, what was it? I have forgotten. The reason why I remember that it was called glass, well, the glass thing stood out to me whenever I was picking it out. But on that same day, Ren posted that he was in a concert in Glasgow, so that makes me remember it better. So here is the new pegboards I got. Okay, let me stand back here and show them. Move, Mr. Tunney. Okay, you see? They're almost exactly the same size as that ceiling up there. And so I have to decide if I want to build a cabinet to house those or if I just want to hang them up. And then in the inside of the sewing cabinet, I've got some more that I'll have to learn how to cut the metal on there to get them inside of there. So that means that I need probably to get a carbide steel table saw blade and put on my welding outfit. I have a welding outfit and one of those plastic masks and all kinds of stuff to keep you from getting sparks on yourself back whenever I learned how to cut rebar with a angle grinder. Okay, so what we're going to do today is play two songs, Chalk Outlines and Neurodivergent. And so the comparison that I'm trying to get a feel for is this thing that we're doing, because I like had the feeling that I wasn't sure if Ren was crying because he was singing songs without the people that he produced those songs with, like Chinchilla, and he was having to sing both parts himself, and then also that could be the factor of what has gone on between us and the things that we have done. And I don't really know because he hasn't explained that to me. I could imagine it being both ways. But as for myself, as to what position I am in trying to talk about a comparison between all of these ideas that have to do with wood and teaching and what was the other one? The chalkboard kind of goes with the teacher idea. And Ren has taken a lot of those ideas from the past and also made it about stuff that we could do together. And this, I think is a good way to explore feelings, and I don't know what more to say about it. I try to imagine his feelings, and then I kind of come back towards myself. Well, how am I actually feeling about these things? If I question if Ren is sad or happy about the position that he's in now with having left these people that he made these things with, and such as myself having left, not be in the relationships where I developed the heart for some of these older things, because I did not decide to put wood all in my house because I was thinking about trying to connect with Jonathan. That's not why I did it. I did it just because the idea started out when I got really scared about taking out the wall that was closest to my front door, because it had this metal piece that looked like it was holding something up, and I didn't know if that was a structural piece of metal. And then somebody on the internet wrote that if I just put a piece of plywood up where I could take that piece of metal off, and that would be the plywood would support the wall. And so that idea was like, oh, plywood is going to strengthen the walls. And so that's why I did that. It wasn't about like romanticizing about somebody's name. That had nothing to do with it. Then I had to think about like, okay, carpentry is a part of construction. When I was in, the odd thing about that is when I was in my counseling degree and we were talking about career counseling, the person that was sitting beside me, Danny, who was Dr. Bob's TA, which is a teaching assistant, was telling me that he was working with a girl who said that she wanted to get into construction, and he thought that was odd for a girl to want to do. And then I'm like, I didn't plan to be able to get into construction. I got into construction because like I just wanted something to I guess it was kind of triggered by my dad, because my dad like I think he was pushing me to learn a little bit more for myself instead of getting him involved in it. And so then I took off with whatever I wanted to do because I wasn't nervous anymore. I just kept pushing myself to learn how to do things. And it just like, I'll free up his time and just, get better at learning how to do things with myself. And then all kinds of different ideas would come to my mind about how I could do things all by myself. And then also there's all kinds of tools that will be introduced to me about like, okay, if you're alone and you have to do work alone, then there's things such as I'm not going to show you all that. Maybe I'll show you when I actually start building cabinets. But there's cabinet lifts that go up really high that'll help you so you can free up your hands. You can use clamps. And there's all kinds of different lifts and everything else. And I know that maybe that's not always, the best thing to choose when you're purposely choosing the pathway of working alone. But it's like the thing that I said about an ox being equally yoked. Sometimes if a person who is very experienced has to coach a person that has no experience, that's not a good dynamic, because the person who's new to it is not able to form enough of their own fresh ideas, because the other person kind of wants to take charge over what you're doing together. And then the person who's very experienced is kind of like, I think it just doesn't always work out that way. And that's not being equally yoked, because part of learning is being able to, at least for me, is being able to feel that kind of enthusiasm and excitement for each time that you get your first experience of learning something new. It's like I described that as feeling like you're at the end of the field of a football game getting a touchdown because you figured out you learned how to do something new. Even though I don't like football and I don't care for things that seem like it's just it's a sport to me that seems like it's way overdone with too many people sitting in the bleachers, and I don't think it's really productive. But that's just my personal opinion on it. I try to gear my mind towards fruitfulness and productivity, and that needs to be both about what you're doing materially and spiritually and mentally. So with this comparison between how do I feel about wondering if I feel sympathy, empathy for Rin, or do I feel excitement for Rin, and how do I feel like kind of taking that in as for myself? The truth is that I'm not trying to make Ren's feelings about myself. I don't know how he's feeling. I really don't. I know how I'm feeling, and I get to where I'm like, do I actually know if I want to be with Rin full-heartedly, and do I really know that I'm over this person of my past? And that's what I tried to describe yesterday, that I have to focus on all the things, the work that we have done together, and the effort, and the trying to build something, and put my faith in that, because it's you know, I try to compare doing a lot of things with your life to being a blacksmith. It's like you're trying to build all these things in the dark before you can see that it's going to work, and you're trying to join these things together and make it passionate and lively and everything that you're doing, and that's difficult to do, and it's okay if you don't feel certain about it, but you can still keep doing little things every day to show that you're into it, because you can't skip a day and wonder why you're not in a relationship. That's just not going to do any good. You might as well just come up with whatever idea that you can come up with and sling it out there. Okay? Build off of things, because that's how it works, man. That's how it works. So, what I'm doing today is I'm gonna just describe the process. We know exactly what painting looks like, and I told you I'm gonna play 2 songs. I'm gonna lay down some butcher paper to keep the paint off the floor, which will save me from having to get down and put rubbing alcohol all over everything to make sure that the paint didn't stick to the floor. And what I looked at the video a little bit, which makes more sense to me now, with Rin standing there in the hallway looking at books and file boxes. I'm gonna examine that video a little bit later, and I might write something about that. And then there's also the chinchilla has fake nails, long fake nails on there. And so I've wondered about what that actually represented, and I thought it had to do with that they were not in a romantic relationship together. That's what I thought, but I don't know, because I didn't create that, but I know the symbolism of the file thing because we went through all of those ideas. But let's get going. Oh, and what I was going to say about this, and I'm not sure. See, that's the color granite, okay? And I'm not totally sure that I want to paint over those. It looks really nice. I could draw. Do some, draw, like on a piece of cardboard, cut out something, and then kind of do some puffy type of acrylic paint pictures on there instead of just covering up everything behind there. I can always change my mind about how I was going to do that. There's an idea. So, let's continue. First, we will play. What do you want first? Neurodivergent or chalk outlines? Chalk outlines. Okay. Now let me point this video camera over here. He says, thank you. He approves. Okay. Ready?
Supplies are low. Deliveries are late. You can scream all day, or you can try the Webster-on way.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start sitting on the floor, I think.
Still in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning. So take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. Walk around in a floating chalk outline. So it goes, let it be. Gallows, balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my, erase ourselves in these chalk outlines. Surgery and the simple syrup. Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything. Take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. The feeling goes and you're a joke out. So it goes, let it be. Girl, I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, erase ourselves. Such a perfect day, take you just minutes, take you just minutes. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change, all things change. It's such a perfect day, it's a beautiful shame, it's a beautiful shame. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Now the reason why I decided to put chalk paint over here is because this is a music room also. Okay, so if I put the organ over here, it has that whole back wall to do that with. Now let's do the I guess we can put a extra song in between. Okay.
Cheers to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories.
Okay. My inner voice said, pay homage to Adam Levine with the song about the memories. When I first heard that song, I thought he was saying, here's to the dreams. And then it kind of, like, in the subtitles, it said, here's to the dreams that bring back you. So that was like you could think of those two things as a similar thing, because dreams or spirits, thinking about spiritual sipping or something like that. I don't know, but what I think, did I just say that? My inner voice said, pay homage to Adam Levine or Maroon 5. So what I think of with that song is how discovering myself through Rin made me come back alive, as if I had been gone, because somebody knew who I was very intimately. It brought me back out and to want to, a lot of the things that he did with other people, and me being like, oh, that's about me, made me want to like start using my voice and expressing myself again. And that is what that song reminds me of when you say pay homage to it. Here's to the memories that bring back you. It's like I had been incubated from the world and lost myself in some way, and somebody out there knew who I was in a very loving way and wanted me to be back in the world. That's how I feel about Rin. And that's one of the heartfelt moments of all of his songs, especially Precious. So let's do Neurodivergent now, and then after that I'll see if anything comes up, then we'll just see what it is. Or unless we want to play this one that just popped up, let's see what it is first. Otherwise I'm gonna get to Ocean. Okay, we'll play it.
Get a GoDaddy website, email, and matching domain bundled together for one low price. It's everything you need to bring your business online, bundled together to help you grow and save. Start today at GoDaddy.com.
She's 70 years old. She's a healer from the Lakota Nation.
I
And
hate
what she's
this
about to say
commercial
about
so
menopause
much.
is something
I
most
can't
women have
stand
never
it.
heard before.
Like I'll run towards it to get it off of there.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you this evening? Our names are Ren and Eden. I hope you're sitting comfortably, relax and I'll stop breathing. Live into the music scene, addicted music nicotine. Don't lose your head like guillotines. I'm tapping on the drum machine and blowing up the ceiling with rhymes that I'm revealing. Producer, poet, singer, songwriter with the feeling. I split the wicked cricket team. I'm beating it like Billie Jean. It's time for heroes libertine. Stretch your mind like limousine. I let the stretcher spitting quick the splits and that I'm spoken with, and I'm dope and gold to the broken nose and MCs like a breathing kit. I play this latest method, break the gist, the chat, strategist, the passion, a blasphemous alchemist making a manuscript. I'm taking the rate to the face, the face, and I'm making the cake when I'm making the bacon. I'm making mistake, my way, but I learn and return on the lessons. I'm making the 50, giving the golden ability, literally killing the comments officially. Oh, bro, you know I show flow agility.
At the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. I'm gonna stay down, oh, stuck in a dream.
Oh, at the bottom of the sea, I rise to the top with these vibes are top, and ain't nobody stopping me. Yeah, I spill my soul on the sheet of paper. Brain is my source, and my tongue creates the tongue twist, kiss your lips, can't resist, and my voice so like the sea. Out on my own, down by the sea, walk to the waves, deep in my feet, carry my heart. carry my pain, give me new life, baptize me, carry me so far away. A place where my dreams become night and day, a place where I know I can achieve. Ocean, ocean, help me believe.
Trouble no more, I'm a free man.
Trouble no more, I'm a free man.
Shackles gonna fall off these feet and
Shackles gon' fall off these feet and
fall to the floor, you know I'll rebound.
fall to the floor, you know I'll rebound.
King of the shore, you know I won't drown.
King of the shore, you know I won't drown.
Trouble no more, I'm a free man.
Trouble no more, I'm a free man.
Shackles gonna fall off these feet and
Shackles gon' fall off these feet and
fall to the floor, you know I'll rebound.
fall to the floor, you know I'll rebound.
King of the shore, no I won't drown. Down, at the bottom of the ocean, I'm at the bottom of the sea. Oh, I'm gonna stay down. Oh, stuck in a dream.
Oh, here we go. Now we got a song from. Who sings it? Nirvana. And I remember it from American Horror Story. Okay. We're gonna skip that one. I don't really like that song anymore because of the idea of him having committed suicide and then singing about not having a gun. It's like it does not feel good to listen to that song like it used to, because I did not know. I was in middle school probably when I first discovered who Nirvana was. So let's go to Neurodivergent. The reason why is because it's about the teacher idea also. I thought that was a good one. We just have a few extra things in there that I did not plan for. And that puts a little bit of uncomfortability in the things that we're doing, but here we go.
This is a smart flash drive for your phone that hosts 250,000 photos and 500 hours of HD videos.
Stay calm, boy. My thoughts are burning like the napalm. I think I need to get away from this noise. I hate the places that I came from. Destroy, I'm born a message from the pager. Subliminal, out of speaker. I never paid attention. biochemical peak and I'm feeling fat. But wait a second, need dopamine. My focus goes to both smoke machine. Precursor, smell, tyrosine. My rage by those phrase cycling. Deciphering maybe some might have been spiraling. Fibonacci, Vicodin, the piloting, Kawasaki, ninja thing. I've been to a big four, to a big beginning. Go, off script, stay to school. Grow, cut twisted. Do roll, top lip split, explode. Misfit, don't fit. What makes a person? Neurodivergent. 6'6" for certain.
Neurodivergent.
They told me I was broken. Nothing but a defect in my head. Said that I was hopeless. Just a fucking reject hanging on by a thread. But after all the pills that they got me, it turned me to a zombie. So welcome to the dawn of the dead. In the handicap spot, just to see that doctor. And this is what he said. Yeah, he said I got a touch of autism. Piece of my puzzle is missing. While the attention deficit disorder tunnels my vision. But see, this world's an asylum and shit. We all in the system. And our sanity's the motherfucking cost of admission. You see that glitch in the algorithm, that's me. Don't fit in a crowd, I lift a boundary. Going sick, let it out, and flip, they found me. With the misfits round, so bitch, allow me to show 'em what I came to do. Shut the blinds and keep the noise down. Cause it's about time to let them all into a madman's mind. Not well, but hell, I feel fine. Go, off script, stay. This go, got twisted. Top lip split, explode. Misfit, don't fit. What makes a person? Neurodivergent. 6'6" for certain. Neurodivergent. Sick entirely. Shrinks in psychiatry. Don't mind my anxiety. Or my non-sobriety. Just lining up to lie to me. Too much they try to silence me. For the post society. Well, that's fine with you.
Okay, so
Need balloons? The new party shop at Michael's has over 700 balloons.
So if you take the both of those songs, Down the Road and Neurodivergent, I've talked about those songs before based on what I think of them, but if you take both of those songs and I'm not going to do that for you. I'm going to do the floor first. From that Robert Frost poem, 2 roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less traveled by. And you're thinking about how what road is less traveled by when it comes to your brain pathways. It is creating new habits and new ways of thinking and doing what's less familiar to yourself or what you can't necessarily see because you've never experienced it before. And so those go really well with those songs. I mean, that was one of the poems that we were talking about when we were talking about ADHD being like, you know, you compare it to ADHD to, I think it was compared to tunnel vision. You're thinking like, you know, about, you call it tunnel vision because you're thinking about this area, your sexual pathway more than your mental pathway. I think that's what in ADHD, okay, it makes you like when you get sexually, you know, peculiar, whatever that that's part of like what grows you as a person, because you'll do things that are out of your comfort zone because you want to like be able to figure out what your partner likes, what you like, what makes you feel good and attractive about yourself, or what makes you feel good mentally about yourself. That goes along with your brain. Now, as far as autism goes, and that being a type of building brain structure, I know very little about what autism is. When I was in graduate school, they were trying to diagnose a little boy with autism, and I got upset about that and said that there was nothing wrong with that little boy. All it was that his parents were spoiling him, and that they were trying to make it into something that it was not. And that was one of the reasons why I was not able to finish my college degree over at that college, because I was getting upset about things and arguing with my teachers about the way I wanted to do things, on top of the fact that I shouldn't have been taking Adderall during that experience. Also, that was affecting me. So that is kind of an old memory that I think of with that. It's like, you know, I think that sometimes different things are invented as sort of excuses for people to see if they'll take that, and you know what you do with that excuse, it could make you become something really great because you feel unique, or it could be something that inhibits you. Is inhibit the right word? Restricts you from being who you need to be, because you're like, I'm not like everybody else, I don't have to do the work. It just depends on how you take that. Or you could be like, I'm special, I can do specialized work. It really depends on how you take that into account. That's like the thought about, you know, somebody with a considered to have a lower IQ, and then somebody who's gifted and talented, and it's supposed to be a testing for what is special about you, not what you've nurtured, but like something that you have the ability to do that is special because of the way you're made. Sometimes they say that in school, if you tell people things like that, it makes the gifted person lazy, and it could like make the person that you're telling has got a low IQ not try very hard either. But that's specific to the person. You have to be careful about what you're telling people when it comes to beliefs. Now, that's the same thing that is true about yourself. If you tell somebody, like my mother used to tell me that she didn't think that I would be very coordinated and good like at sports because she wasn't. Well, I am very coordinated and good at sports, not necessarily sports, but athletics, and it's not because I'm natural at it. It's just you do something repetitively and you get good at it. It does not take your body very long to figure that out. And so if you try to base that on a genetic tendency, it's a false thing that you're telling yourself, because the body has this memory of what it does, that even when you stop doing something, when you come back to it, you can like pick it up and do it as if you never left it. That's how I am with what I've talked about golf before. If I went and picked up a golf club and wanted to drive the ball, I would probably knock it like super straight, super high up, super far, just because I was like, I practiced that a long time ago and I can remember the swing that I have, but I'm just not into golf. I don't care for it. So that's how muscle memory works. All you got to do is nurture your muscles. But as far as these things go romantically, and how we've kind of crossed into relationship things that no longer are, and to try and build a relationship with each other, it's been a very strange experience, and it could work. It definitely could work. But we'll just see how that goes. It's like if you were a young child and somebody, I'm just thinking about this story that happened when I was in graduate school about trying to get somebody to diagnose you. Basically, it's like getting a doctor's note telling you that you have an excuse not to have to do your schoolwork because you're special. Do you really want to give your kid that opportunity to do that and experiment to see how they handle that situation? What if you fuck them up by doing that? By telling them something about themselves that you know is not true, just to see what that belief does to them. It's like has nothing to do with any kind of disorder. You're just, it feels like the parent might be experimenting with something by doing that. But you know, that could work out, or it may not work, depending on how the child handles that. And I don't know, like, what kind of fuel you're going to be using to try and raise your children. But I don't necessarily think coming up with excuses for people and saying that they'll take the bait or resist it and become a stronger person because of it is necessarily a good idea. I really don't. Like, if somebody like, I would have no idea to be able to judge myself on what a comparison standard is to what a person should be like, because I'm not close enough to anybody to be able to examine that. But even if I were, it would largely depend on what that person has invested themselves in with what they do, because there's like so many different things in this world that you can spend your time doing. So there might be somebody who's good in one area and I'm good in another area, and how could you ever come up with a comparison standard about that? It has to do with what you're devoting yourself towards. But like I said, we're gonna work on finishing. It's only this little area that I'm doing, and we're just doing the top coat for the chalk paint. I thought, well, should we do 3 different videos with the chalk paint, where that's probably what I'll do, is 3 different coats of paint. But I don't know, because I don't have any ideas about what we're going to talk about. And how we can improve. It could be an exercise about how you improve on layers of what you've tried to cover in your first talk. But I don't know, we'll have to think about that. Now at the end of this, we'll focus on possibly valuing finishing up with silence, and seeing if we can work through that with our patients of not rushing away to do something else that we'd rather do. Because these are exercises that you can get into, Ren. Like, oh, you probably have a million things that you could be doing right now, and you're spending time watching me paint. and listening to me. That works on yourself about what you think is valuable. Something just needs to be done better. But this board is partially for you, Ren, if you're going to be in here in this music room composing songs. We got a board right here and you're watching it get created as we speak. I got chalk already for you to use. Both of us will be using it. Yes, yes. Now it's probably going to sound very loud in here because of the plywood on all of the walls. It's going to be a very unique type of sound, I would think. There's no escape for the noise to go out of the room. It'll bounce back. Now, I don't want to bring up how you look different on different videos and all of that. I'm not really concerned about that. I would like to know what you look like face to face, and if we're gonna do that, I'll find out whenever we actually meet each other. It's like, it's not something that like I can try and figure out about how different Photoshop does or whatever, because you look different in different people's cameras. It is your heart and your mind and your everything else that I want to get to know as well. But what do you think about the wedding plans? You're in. Do you have any preferences? Lots of them? You've been thinking about it as well. And you're excited to share what you are thinking of? Good, good, good. Good, 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 good. Now, I don't want to talk about the people that you've sang with before. I really don't. Like, I don't see why I need to talk about it. Okay? You know exactly how I feel about wanting a monogamous relationship with you. I don't really want to talk about any of that. But I think it was brave, sort of brave for me to put that, add that to our video. So, do you want several footages of this chalk painting? Yes or no? No? One is good? Okay. So I'll finish it up myself, and we'll just give a little bit of, sampling, I guess you would call it, about each little thing that I've done. Because doing the same thing over and over for a camera is really nothing I would want to get into, but you see the initial parts of it. start building very close. What should we finish first? The sewing cabinet or the pantry? The sewing cabinet? Alright. We are finishing this. We are finishing this. We are finishing this. You think I could come up with a poem off the top of my head as I finish painting? I don't know. Sometimes you need to have an idea in mind before you try to do something like that. Rin, do you still like the name Skylar? Yes, he does. His favorite. Not necessarily his favorite, but he likes it. I love you back. I love you back. I have a very strong tendency to want to be entertaining, you know. I do. I have a strong tendency to want to be entertaining, and I have a strong tendency to want to be considerate. So I kind of feel like I want to be alone more whenever I go back and do touch-ups. I can tell that in the way that I'm trying to get through the top here. I don't want it to touch the ceiling. I want a different paintbrush. And that's what I'll do in my non-video time. So we might do another video where I show myself with a smaller paintbrush, but I'm on a different area. We'll see. Like, trying to share your life across the ocean. That's what we're doing. How do you do that? You know, that's what I had thought about whenever I was like, why was I exposed to a bunch of TV and internet and all of those things at such a young age, and why was it such a big part of my life? And I thought after having found Rin that maybe I knew the answer, because Rin had to have some way to bond with me from being way over there, but I kind of just made that up in my head. There had to be a way for us to connect with each other, where we are both, you know, kind of able to experience something, some similar experiences. I don't know if that's the case or what, but we try to look for something good in everything. You can't just think that your whole life is just one big testing session. You have to think, oh, there was something more purposeful about that. Had to have been. At least you hope there was. The idea of life being one long big test sounds like a very dumb idea. Testing gets old. Testing gets old. You want to experience the fruits of your everything, man, in a pleasurable kind of way. Okay. That'll do it. Oh, we went past an hour. Okay. Thank you.